All right. Well, let's get right to it, guys. Excuse me. Let's get right to it, guys. Oh goodness, the colors changed on me. Spawning in the bottom right position of Casper's Neo Arkanoid is going to be aLive. He's currently teamless, but it is aLive. And spawning in the bottom left position as our green Protoss, it is going to be none other than Rox.Kis Fraer. Now, while I get this set up, Fraer commenting on the map, it's definitely one of the more unusual ones. You've seen it in, basically came out in Casper's Pro League as being a map where a lot of crazy things have been known to happen. Definitely an unusual type of setup. Personally, not my favorite, but we should get some good games out of these players. I believe according to our statistics for the RSL, this is our most competitive group. aLive and Vortex, two very, very strong players. Fraer is, of course, the Ukrainian player coming in here, representing for the Russian Starleague. So this should be a good series, of course. The groups have all been set up so that there can't be any kind of mirror matchups. There's one Protoss, one Zerg, one Terran. Our Terran player is aLive, our Protoss player is Fraer, and our Zerg player is Vortex for this for the purposes of this show match or tournament. So we're gonna have a gas opening out of aLive. This isn't unusual. A lot of the tactics that we see develop on this map are generally based around abusing the fact that your opponent might think that they're safe simply because of these rocks that separate the bases. Of course, they take about 15 minutes to actually go away. You actually have a Pro beginning to work away at this creep tumor right now. Actually, the armor, it actually can't break it. You actually can't break that with a worker. The regeneration is too much. That take years to break, but aLive's going. He's taking care of everything. He's got another supply depot going up here, and we have our first Zealot on the way for Fraer. So he's going to be looking to expand pretty quickly, and I feel like this could be a little bit dangerous for him because he doesn't, of course, know that his opponent went for gas. He's going to require a robotics facility in order to be able to scout that, but he could be in a little bit of danger. But aLive's going to bust down this creep tumor. It's like supposed to be known as a creep tumor, has the model for it, but I mean it's basically what it is. You have to kill it if you want to expand, but it's designed in a way that a Zerg player can expand, but no other race could. So always interesting to see the way that the maps are developing for the game. But factory is about halfway done now for aLive. Looks like he's going to be heading up into some kind of either Hellion or Banshee play. He only has one gas, though, so I'm skeptical that it would be Banshees. Most likely going to be a Hellion drop or possibly Hellion Marine drop. He has a lot of options available to him, but you need that second gas if you want to go for anything crazy like Cloak Banshee. Now, Zealot is going to be moving over to the right side, and I like this. He's kind of just taking out these creep blockers pretty quickly. No expansion down just yet. He's going to be getting a robotics facility first, and I really like this decision. Play it a little bit safer. He doesn't know what his opponent's going to be doing, and here we have that starport on the way for aLive, as well as Hellions. So this is unsurprising. Hellion drop openers are very strong. Wings of Liberty can really catch a Zerg or Protoss player off guard very quickly, and Fraer is going to need to be cautious. The first observer that he makes, he's going to need to send it straight over to this right side base if he wants to have a chance at spotting aLive. But if he sends it to the top side, he'll have absolutely no idea that this is coming. The medevac might even dodge it, but the Nexus is on the way for Fraer, and the medevac is also on the way for aLive. So this is going to be interesting how he's going to hold this off. We have continued Marine production, continued Hellion production, a little bit of a supply block by aLive. He's going to be delayed on that third Hellion by a tiny bit now. A little unfortunate, but he has enough units to load up into the medevac if he so chooses. I like this. He's gone for a lot of base vision with these supply depots, and we're actually going to have a really fast Warp Prism out of Fraer. He's beginning to bust down these rocks outside the main base, and he's going to start a robotics base super fast on only one gateway. A really greedy play, and you know what? I'm not too sure he's actually going to have enough units to deal with this kind of push that's coming. The medevac, however, neither player have scouted each other at all, so this medevac's going to head over to the top base. I really hope he doesn't just straight up unload it right now. Maybe unload one of the Hellions and then scout, but he doesn't actually know where Fraer is. And there we go. Hellion is on the way, and he is going to see pretty quickly there's no base here. Okay, check the last one. So Fraer has the best situation possible. He's got this Zealot drop in aLive's base thanks to that War Prism. He shut down the natural expansion from really starting up, and he found his opponent very quickly, whereas aLive went for a little bit of a faster push, but is nowhere near his opponent's base yet. Hellions going to try to clean up these Zealots, so with good control, aLive shouldn't lose too much. But Fraer, he's in a reasonable position to keep this game going. He's going to start on his additional gateways. Should see a third gateway really soon. He's going to want to move up to 6 gates pretty quickly, actually, since he already has Robotics Bay. And he's actually getting Gravitic Drive for his Warp Prism. So that Warp Prism is going to become much a big nuisance for aLive as possible with that speed upgrade. And as you can see, he's already ducking around, taking whatever he can get. He's going to see this supply depot. He's going to try to snipe that. He's playing this very aggressively. But we have another medevac loaded up, and it's actually going to pretty much be 2 medevacs going in. And I still feel this is a pretty greedy play out of Fraer. The first medevac is actually going to come in from the north side towards the natural expansion. The Hellions and Marines are here. We have a bunch of probes taking some damage. Only killed a couple so far, but now they're running. And these Hellions are going to be able to come at them in a line. And a lot of probes are going down from this natural base. The Marines could actually fight the Stalkers pretty well with the medevac support. The probes are being actually pulled to defend. He's done a lot of damage to these. Continue. Additional probes are dying. Great Hellion Micro. 6 kills on that right now. Really, really good job here from aLive to make the most out of his very late drop. And he's going to pick the rest of the Marines up in the medevac and just go back. He can drop in this natural if he wants to snipe, maybe another probe or 2, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He can fight the Stalkers straight up, but I think now he's going to need to lift off and get out of there, but that medevac will go down, and, well, aLive's going to pick off one of the Stalkers before the rest of his Marines fall, so not the worst trade ever. Looking at the workers kill tab, we have about 12 probes, 13 actually killed for aLive. He's moving in with the second drop right now. The Hellions are in the main base mineral line, and keep in mind it's not just probes killed. He's denying mining. There's a bunch of probes that aren't mining at this base. They're all pulled up towards the natural expansion, and aLive's going to get away with this pretty cleanly. Now the supply is about even, as that Warp Prism has actually done a significant amount of damage as well. These Zealots are a very big nuisance. He managed to pull most of his SCVs away, but this Warp Prism with the speed has just been such a nuisance for aLive. He's bringing his own drop back to deal with the drop that Zealot manages to take out 1 or 2 more SCVs. They're doing quite a bit of damage to these units. I have to say, though, I think with the triple command center available now for aLive, he's going to be in a great position to economically recover from this harass, and Fraer is going to immediately get another Warp Prism. I like this decision a lot. He really wants to try to keep on the pressure and keep aLive away so that he can get up his base count, he can get up additional expansions, and build up to the tech that he needs to, because right now aLive is in a pretty scary position for Fraer, where he can do a lot of damage because of the economic lead that he has, because he's going to be able to get a lot of additional units. And we have an observer that can spot this natural, but it's not like it's anything ridiculous. He doesn't know anything terribly useful. I love the observer positioning, watching the lanes, watching for possible drops. And here we go. Another Warp Prism is going to come in here. It has 4 Stalkers in it, so this is like a bit of a drop harass. And he can immediately pick these up and just back off at any time. Stim is not going to be done for another about minute yet. So there's a lot of options here for Fraer to be aggressive, and I really like this decision to play economically, go for the fast Warp Prism, and keep aLive on his toes. Don't let him be too greedy. Give him a gut check every couple seconds. And the speed of this Warp Prism, he's going to head straight over to the third base. And there's actually no units here. He's moving a couple Marines up now, but the Stalkers are going to drop. He's going to pick up another couple of SCVs. He's going to warp in a Zealot into the mineral line. He's just going to let that chase. Ooh, a great drop to pick off another SCV. And, well, Fraer's going to be able to do a lot of damage to this command center. aLive has to pull his army up. He's going to stim now. And the scary part is he can just lift up and go right back over here. This observer knows that there's no army here, only a couple of Marauders. But, yeah, he's going to run up, and that Warp Prism is going to say, see you later, man. Lift up and get out of there. So it's been a pretty back-and-forth game we've had so far. Definitely not a bad start to today's matches, but aLive has secured himself a tiny bit of a supply lead. The first Colossi are coming out. We have one already, second one about halfway done. And here we go. 3 more Hellions being dropped into the natural base for Fraer. aLive moving in, trying to grab as many probes as he can. He's going to lift up and get away. He's Workers kill tab is actually very, very close this game. 22 SCVs killed, 18 probes killed, and this Stalker drop harass just doesn't stop. Fraer is really staying on top of aLive's expansions. He is not giving him a single chance to get comfortable in this game, and I really like that. This game, the supplies are so close. This has been so much harass in this game. Really cool game on this map, considering that you can't really just move the main army in to put on any pressure. It's a little bit high octane. This is intense. Well, Hellions are moving in now towards the main base. The drop is going in again. He's going to come and snipe another couple of probes. They're lining up a little bit. He could get that splash AoE off, do a lot of damage. He's moving the probes away. Great pullback on a couple of them to keep the Hellions from moving through. But these probes get caught in a dark alleyway, and they will die Pretty painful death. We have, of course, the Warp Prism moving in again on that third expansion. There's our Marines here to deal with this. He's going to need to warp in a lot of Zealots to make this cost effective, but he will not be able to, and these Marines are going to catch the Stalkers, so good catch here for aLive, just shutting down the harass. That's a pretty expensive investment for Fraer. Actually, he lost the Warp Prism too, which is also really, really big. Great play by aLive to catch that, but there are 3 Colossi out now, and the Starport is only just starting to produce units. We have Medivacs on the field, no Vikings yet, and a supply block could be disastrous for aLive here, as there are 3 Colossi. A 4th one is on the way, about to push out and possibly just try to go attack him. The Observer knows, okay, you don't really have too much of an army composition. You have, okay, Marines, Marauders, you have your +1 attack, that's normal. I'm not really too worried about this. I've got 4 Colossi. You don't have any Vikings at all. You are not going to be able to hold a push if I go to you right now. And missile turrets are being put up to help defend against the drop harass and possibly kill Observers, but he doesn't see the Observer that he has here. Actually, it was barely in vision. I'm not 100% sure if he can see that when he's in range, but oh well, it looks like Fraer is getting ready to push in towards the natural base of aLive. Fraer is a little bit down on supply. aLive's been macroing reasonably well, although I will say supply blocks have hurt him a lot, but there's a big drop in the main base. He actually shut down the 3rd. He's going to be moving in towards killing that robotics facility now, heading over into the main base. The probes are beginning to die, and this is a lot of damage being caused by aLive. We could have Fraer just go for a really big counterattack and try to just end this here. This is going to be really, really big. The Nexus is under fire. He made sure to just focus this down and then take out the rest of the pylons and move in here, but the Colossi are coming home. He's going to try to shut this down. He's bringing 2 of them, though, to push that natural expansion of aLive. This is a really scary position to be in. Fraer didn't lose his Nexus, but he lost a lot of probes. He's down about 40 supply. However, the Colossi are moving in. That 3rd orbital command has been forced to lift. There are bunkers in position, but the Colossi have range. There are only 2 Vikings on the field for aLive. He's just going to move in now. No force fields on the bunkers, but there's no SCVs to repair. A lot of these units are taking extreme amounts of damage. He doesn't have enough anti-air to shut down the Vikings if he loses these Stalkers. And, oh my goodness, 2 of them barely getting away. He's going to clean this up, go home, cut his losses. The drop hits the the natural expansion again for Fraer. He's losing additional probes, and there's going to be the GG from Rox.Kis Fraer. aLive takes game number 1 in today's Rhythmix RSL Group C stage. Alright guys, that's game number 1 in this best of 5. So a nice start for aLive. I have to say that was a pretty back and forth game. Better than the game I was expecting from Arkanoid as a map. But yeah, overall not bad at all. So I'm gonna run a quick 30-second ad and we'll get back to the next game as soon as we can.